What's going on, everyone? It's Smudger here, and I thought today we would discuss the Vanguard Mastery Camo. Obviously we don't know what it is itself, but there's some things that I'm already concerned about in terms of the process to get it, based on the beta, based on the weapons we've seen, and just how many attachments there are, and kind of like the knock-on effect that has on Mastery camos. Obviously, I know a lot of you are here through gold gun guides and stuff, so hopefully this will be of some interest to you. I'll try and keep it as to the point as I can, but I'm gonna elaborate extensively where I think there's major issues. I've spent a decent amount of time thinking about this now. There are a few things I was already thinking about, but I held off until this first weekend of the beta to see what was going to happen. But the first thing I kind of really want to dive into is the weapon levels themselves. If you look on the beta create class, you'll see that the weapon levels themselves go up to like level 70 because it is a pick 10 system. There are so many attachments that it kind of needed to be done just to fit in all the attachments. So that's a long old grind for, you know, dozens of guns across the game. It's there's a lot of levels if you think about it. Most of Cold Wars were like level 50, 55. But that could be balanced out pretty easily based on the time it takes to actually level them up. If they had a Modern Warfare kind of like time scale to level up each level as opposed to Cold War, it'd be pretty doable. It'd be longer than the Modern Warfare grind, hopefully not as long as the Cold War one, somewhere in between. That could be a sweet spot. But as it stands, obviously we don't know how long it's going to take to level up with like the final XP values when we go into the final game. At the moment, it doesn't seem like it takes an extortionate amount of time. I think it takes a little bit longer than I'd perhaps like. But then of course, I don't have the benefit of being able to play hardcore, being able to play, you know, domination whenever I want, hardpoint whenever I want, you know, switching and picking those modes will help me level up guns. There's no double XP, stuff like that. So there are kind of aspects that aren't taken into account just with the beta, of course. As it stands, I'd like it to be a little bit quicker, but not too much. You know, it's not a deal breaker as it currently is. There's just a lot of levels to get through. Yeah, that's a point of concern for me. But I don't think it'll be, you know, a deal breaker. And then the challenges themselves are where I get really concerned from a preserving my sanity kind of point. Obviously you'll have things like eliminations, long shots, headshots, crouched kills possibly, point blank kills for a few of the weapon classes, double kills, you know, 5 kills without dying or 3 kills without dying, perhaps even get 2 kills without reloading. I have seen that idea banded around a bit in a few of the discords I'm in. The couple that I'm nervous, unsure about are mounted kills. I don't really want to see them come back because there will be, you know, one game mode that is fantastic for leveling guns up, and it'll just be 50 people mounted on the wall with LMGs the entire game. And I understand it's part of the process, but with a player base as big as you are, almost every lobby has too many of those players. Happened in Modern Warfare. Shoot House, whilst a fantastic map to level up almost any gun, a lot of people just mounted up, not moving, getting spawn trapped. It was just a product of the map itself. I wouldn't be upset if mounted kills weren't there. I'm not sure I'd be overly distraught if they were, but you know, if you were to tell me they weren't going to be included, I wouldn't be upset. However, I'd rather mounted kills were included than blind fire kills, because that is the newest mechanic, I guess you could say, and that is, yeah, that's a bit of a deal breaker. The blind fire mechanic, whilst it's a cool mechanic, it definitely has its place in, you know, intuity and kind of using it in very cool ways. It creates an aspect of realism we've not really seen before in Call of Duty. I'm not sure if it fits in Call of Duty. If you're going to turn around and tell me I need 50 blind fire kills with like every single automatic gun, I'm going to cry. Just straight up, curl up into a ball in that corner and cry. There are no two ways about that. Nothing about that challenge seems remotely skillful, fair. It seems entirely dependent on, you know, lobbies, entirely dependent on maps you're playing. Like, there's no way to control it as such. Because with the others, you know, you could argue that mounted kills are map dependent, and mounted kills could be lobby dependent. If you have a very aggressive lobby, you might struggle, but blind fire just seems so up in the air, and so, you know, I'd rather have hip fire kills for every single weapon category than blind fire, hands down. It's the one I'm very concerned about, but we will have to wait and see, of course. And regardless, I'll be putting out gold gun guides for every single gun in Vanguard, even if it makes me want to quite literally spoon my eyes out. We'll be doing it. Kind of wish I hadn't said that now. Anyway, finally, the camo itself. I don't actually know what I'm expecting. Obviously, World War II, you had, it was chrome, wasn't it? Chrome camo. I please, good God, give me something better than that. It's got to be better than Damascus. Damascus was, honestly, I think Damascus might be worse than chrome. I really liked the dark matter. Nothing wrong with Cold War dark matter. I'd like to see something similar, something a bit animated. I don't mean as in a reactive camo, something with a bit of shimmer to it. You know, something that at least looks like it's moving in the light, if nothing else. Just something like, I'm not too bothered about realism here. You know, it's Call of Duty, you're getting mastery camos for your guns. I'm really not too bothered if it would be viable. Like, do you think dark matter is viable? No. It'd just be nice to see something worth grinding for, that I actually want to put on my guns, because Damascus was hideous and I just never wanted to put it on my guns, and unless I needed to like flex on someone, it just wasn't really worth it. Yeah, the camo itself, give me something that shimmers, give me something that moves, gives me something worth it. Good God, just don't make the grind so unreasonably long for every gun that you burn out. Obviously the grind's going to be long, that's the whole point of it, but I just don't want it to be, you know, soul destroying, unreasonable. I don't think that's too much to ask for, but it is Call of Duty. But do let me know your thoughts on what the mastery camo is going to be, what the challenges are going to be, if the grind is going to be a little bit too long for most people. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you did enjoy the video, give it a like, subscribe if you want to find your way back. Hope you'll have a good day. I'll see you next time. Bye.